Hello everyone, my name is Danish and you're watching Code Knowledge. In the previous tutorial, we learned the basics of reversing. In this tutorial, we'll go through some examples and learn how to write plugins for GTA 3, GTA Vice City and GTA San Andreas. Here's a list of examples that we'll be covering. Number 1. Animations. There are some animation classes that we need to know about. Every single animation that we create in 3ds Max is represented by an instance of CAnimBlend hierarchy class. In GTA 3, CAnimBlend sequence represents a single body part, whereas in GTA Vice City and San Andreas, CAnimBlend sequence represents a single bone of a CAnimBlend hierarchy instance. Let's say if you're moving 10 body parts or bones in 3ds Max, then CAnimBlend hierarchy for that animation will have 10 sequences. This class holds an array of keyframes for the bone. When you start playing an animation in GTA, whether if it's a cutscene animation or an animation by pressing a key on your keyboard, a new instance of CAnimBlend association will be created for that hierarchy. This means if you have 3 pets on your screen who are running or standing idle, then there will be 3 animation associations. It is important to understand that if you're standing still and change your animation by running or jumping, then that animation association will be destroyed and replaced by a new one. Since partial animations are supported, you can have multiple animation associations for a single pet running all at once. For instance, a pet is seated in a car and aims his weapon. CAnimBlend node represents a body part or a bone just like CAnimBlend sequence, but the difference is that it is animated. An array of CAnimBlend node is created for every CAnimBlend association because this is where the magic happens. If a hierarchy of CAnimBlend association has 10 sequences, then there will be 10 blend nodes. It is responsible for deciding which keyframe to play for the bone or the body part, as a keyframe has rotation and translation values for the bone or the body part. CAnimBlock represents a collection of animation hierarchies, which is basically an animation file. The IFP file format is used for animation files in GTA. When an IFP file is loaded, a separate CAnimBlend hierarchy instance is created for every animation. And all of these animation hierarchies are stored within an array which you can find in CAnimManager. Every instance of CAnimBlend association group holds a group and animation ID. Together these two IDs represent an animation hierarchy which can belong to any animation block. CAnimManager class contains static functions to play various animations. In GTA 3, there's a limitation. You cannot play cutscenes animation if a cutscene is not playing. This limitation does not exist in GTA Vice City and San Andreas. Let's open a Visual Studio and write some code. We create a new plugin-sdk project and name the solution to GTA plugin-sdk examples. Name the project to GTA 3 animation. I have created a tiny library for key detection and we will use it throughout the tutorial. Download the archive and extract both folders to the directory of the solution. Go to the properties of the project and add the path of the input folder. Define a new member for the input manager. We need to initialize the input manager in the constructor. Make sure to put this code within initialize game event. Now we need to define a callback function and register it. Since the callback function has two parameters, we need to pass two placeholders to the bind function. We can detect the key of our choice. We will use the gameProcess event to detect keystrokes for every frame. Select the key state of your choice. I like to use press down. I forgot to add something to the properties. So go to properties, copy paste the last one and write game. Create a new input filter and add the contents from the input folder. To play an animation, we first need to get a pointer to our local player, which is Claude in GTA 3. And then we check if we have the clump and the local player. Define a new function and name it play animation. Every animation has a static association. Include the association header and animation enum. If an animation is playing, before adding it again, we have to destroy it. The blend animation function adds the animation to the pad. From the enum, we can choose any animation that we want to play. The final step is to set the flags for the animation. Now build the project. If I press 0 on my keyboard, we can see the animation playing. Create a new project for GTA Vice City. Name it GTA VC Animation. The code is going to be similar to GTA 3, so we can copy paste from the previous project. Go to Properties and add the paths. For this project, we need to add a special path, that is MS Detours. Change the class name to GTA VC Animation. Also change the member name. Choose an animation of your choice from the enum. In GTY City, there is a problem. The animation blocks are unloaded when they're not being used. For this purpose, we need to patch the functions. There is one function that we cannot patch. We have to hook it. Write the prototype and type def for the function outside a class. We check if it's an IFP model, which is the animation block, then we return. We patch two functions to avoid crashing. Define a new function for loading animation blocks. Whenever an animation is about to be played, we first load the animation block before playing the animation. Create a new filter and name it editors. Add the contents from MS Editors folder. In order for this to work, we need to make some small changes. Within the loop, we check for animation group and animation ID. Now build the project. Press 0 to play the animation. Create a new project and name it GTA SA Animation. We can use some code from the previous project. Create the input filter and add the contents. Since this is a different game, for obvious reasons, we need to make some adjustments to the code. Include run name anim task. Define two variables, anim name, block name. Just like GTA Vice City, we first load the animation block. We define the flags and create the task. After creating the task, you have to set the task to the player. These two flags allow translation on X and Y coordinates, and the remaining two flags are required for every task. We need a block and animation name. For this purpose, we'll go to a wiki page where we can find all the blocks and animations. Let's play the swimming animation from the swimming block. Make sure GTA SA is selected. Copy-paste initialization code from previous project. Go to Properties and add the paths. For the block ID, we'll use getAnimationBlockIndex function. Increment the block references. Build the project. Add the loop flag if you want the animation to loop. Press 0 to play the animation.